Hey guys, welcome back to part 3. Okay, as you were just seen in part 2, I'm down here at the big main shaft bearing. And I was kind of ran into a snag. I thought that was well, I wasn't sure. I thought that might have been like a bushing, a spacer bushing. It's not. That's actually the race of the bearing. It's an extended race. And so let me see here. Right there we are. I opened up the new bearing box, and one thing that kind of puzzled me, and so I actually just got off the phone with the AGCO dealer talking to the Gleaner guy over there. Is right there's the big bearing, and it's going to go on the shaft just like that. It's got set screws on that side. Thing is though, that's like a pillow block. You put the bearing in like that, give it a turn, and it locks it in. Once you get that put back up on the shaft, there's no way to access that. And so that's why I was talking to them about finding out regarding those. And he said on the 72, you don't use that. And so, because come to find out, this bearing also, bearing number subs over to the S series combine and also even the R76. And so, and then I was also asking him because there's, as far as getting the old one off, I figured I would have to somebody cut this outer piece here off, take the cast part off, done deal with a torch, and just cut it, whack it off. And he said that's what he always does. And now I do see these holes, and I kind of wonder if you couldn't put a T-puller in that. However, I do not have a T-puller, and I mean, whacking off there, that's no big deal. Like I say, I figured I'd have to do that anyway. But yeah, just cut that off, and so right around there, and then once you get this outer piece just taken off, then it's no big deal to take and cut that race right off the shaft. Done deal. And so yeah, I'll bring you along here as I work on it, and then try and keep you updated. Okay, just got my torch wheeled up here. Like I said, I'm going to take and cut right around there. I'll cut the rollers out. That way I can get this outer housing off. However, whenever you're using a torch, make sure you have at least a bucket of water. I'm actually going to go get my garden hose and just get the garden hose brought in here. And that way, in case anything bad should happen, you can put it out right quick and nothing gets damaged. So I'm going to get the hose and get ready to whack that out. Well, I got my hose brought in here. Got it laying right down there on the floor. And so got the hydrant turned on and got my torch. I'm not sure as far as actually trying to video this, because I gotta watch. Sometimes if I get videoing with either torchlight or welder, that type of stuff, my camera can kind of want to auto darken stuff way down, and it doesn't exactly want to video very well. And so I probably just had to take and grab video along as I get this outer housing here cut off, and well, cut out. That way I can get the outer housing out of there, and then just video along and keep you updated as what's happening, because I don't want the video to be all messed up and that kind of stuff from the light. But like I say, I'll keep you updated here as what's happening. But I'm ready to get started here, and like I say, that's what the guy at the AGCO dealer told me. Just take and cut that. Of course, that right there is your grease seal going around. And I will say, just by looking at that, not sure how well you can see that on camera, that actually looks black, and which is making me almost wonder if, in fact, even that part of the bearing right there, I can see that is black. And that's almost making me wonder if that's not the original bearing. And so I'm not sure why, when they put the new bearings, from all appearances anyway, as you've seen, when I taken the other parts off of it right there, the big housing and that kind of stuff, all those markings and indicators and that kind of thing, they either had bearings that were black on the outside, which included the outer race part, because my new bearing is silver. But yeah, like I say, I would almost guess to be an original bearing, because with it having all that black paint on it. And so I'm not exactly sure as far as that goes, but anyway, yeah, you cut that race right there, that grease seal off, cut the rollers right out. This piece here comes off, and then you just simply take and cut that inner race out. Problem solved. And then just take some emery paper, shine up the shaft, and anyway, I'll keep you updated here as I go along. Before I start torching, I want to take and pop these 4 bolts out. Okay, there we go. Just thought I'd see if there was any kind of movement in that. I saw it shift just a little bit, but not much, when I took that last bolt out. But I wish it had just come off, but it's not going to come off that easy. So, okay. Well, I'm going to get the torch fired up, and like I say, I'll just keep you updated along here as I cut out, and show you what's happening. Before I started torching, I happened to remember I wanted to just go ahead, instead of having taken cut that, it's actually a double seal that's over that, and so I figure, well, you know what, why not try to just take and pop that out of there instead of torching it. It just saves that much less fire, if at all possible. And so I just took and got me a cold chisel and knocked a hole into it where I could pry, and there's the grease seal. That just gets it out, like I say, it just gets that much out of the way that I don't have to torch, because I'm not exactly a great big fan of using a torch on the combine anyway. Well, especially in a big area like this, if at all possible. I mean, naturally, like regular lock collar bearings like that and those kind of things, you gotta take and torch them out regardless. Same way here. But figured, well, why not just take and what I can, just go ahead and get popped out of the way and done with. Okay, yeah, you can see, if I can get my pry bar cleaned up there, got a little grease on it. Yeah, you can see in there though, there's the rollers, and there's not really a lot of grease in that. So I'm glad I'm getting it replaced. Okay, now I think I'm ready to get the torch going. All right, just got done cutting out. You can see we're still nice and red inside. But I went around, I cut out all the rollers. And so now I gotta get my, I'll probably grab a chisel, maybe a pry bar, and start busting that slag out of there. Once you get the slag out, then that should come, that outer housing right up here should come off pretty easy. And so I'm gonna grab a pry bar and start poking around that and see if I can get it to break loose. Okay guys, finally got that cut out of there. I can see I've got a little bit of chaff, a little bit of smoke wanting to roll. Ah, there we go. Yuck, right in the face. All right, that's got that. Oh yeah, they got a little bit of smoldering going on. Oh, that's always nice right in the eyes. Yeah, there we go. I was gonna say, I thought I smelled something scorching. Get all that out of there. Yeah. Don't need any fires, but that's why you keep a garden hose close by. Okay, sure enough, I hear somebody pulling in, so, but hey, I'll get back with you here in a little bit. Okay, we'll just go ahead and take this cast piece off. Yeah, see, it gets chaff and that kind of thing. That's what was scorching behind that. Okay, got that done. Let it keep cooling down. Now we got this back here. I'll just have to see. Well, one person pulls out of the driveway, now somebody else is pulled in. Okay, well, sure enough, that was a neighbor. The first vehicle that pulled in, that was my dad, and come to find out, a neighbor wanted some straw, and so my neighbor, he just pulled in, turned around, and headed back out. So, that's part of the old grease seal. I'm just trying to see here as far as the bearing. Okay, it looks like it does have, get that old seal off there, an extended race right there, and right there is, that's those Allen screw holes on there. Okay, so it's the same bearing. I am curious. I'm going to grab an Allen wrench and stick in there and just see if there's a chance the actual screws themselves might not even be in there. They might have actually taken those out. Because like I say, when I talked to the Gleaner guy over there at Plevna Implement at Kokomo, Indiana, he said they don't even use that. Okay. I would use my fingers, but that's still kind of warm. All right, there's what's left of the one grease seal. And of course, it's got to be clear down the bottom. Okay, without actually sticking a wrench inside there, it almost looks like those screws have been taken out. So I'm going to go grab a wrench or maybe even just a little screwdriver and stick it in there, and we'll see what happens. Okay, got a little screwdriver here. Okay, well, hey, at least that gives me an idea of what to do anyway. The Allen screws have actually been removed. They are not in there. And so, good. That means I will just take the Allen screws out of the new bearing and put it on just like that. Problem solved. Okay, this housing, basically what I call a pillow block bearing. Let's give it a half turn. That's okay. Yeah, we're cooling down. It's cool enough you can just quickly grab it, but you can't lay your hand on it for a real long time, but that works. Also, especially like on metal like this, if you want to take and cool it down, don't put it in water. That's a good way of actually taking crack and or weaken that cast. What I do, if I get metal real hot and I want to cool it down, you can either use a small fan like this, well, minus getting dirt blown right in your face, and hold it in front of the fan for a while, and or I also have a big squirrel cage fan that I can actually take and set whatever it is literally right at the front, in front of the squirrel cage part, and blast it with air for a while, and it'll soon cool it off. You'll be surprised how quickly it'll cool it down. That's a lot safer way than dumping a bunch of cold water onto it, because you can actually end up cracking that cast housing and or weakening it. And so, okay, that's got that done. Now we are over here on the race part. We gotta get that cut off, that thing. I wish that would actually pry off there, but it's not going to. Nope. Not that easy. And so, well, the next thing is to get that cut off the shaft. You just gotta be careful you don't go and dig into that shaft with your torch. And so I'm gonna get the old smoke wrench fired up and we'll whack that off, and I'll bring you back in and show you what it looks like. Like I said, I wish I could actually be filming as I'm torching. I just gotta watch that I don't get stuff wanting to spider back and hit right into the lens on my iPhone and screw it all up. Then I am done. But anyway, yeah, you get the basic idea. And so I'll keep you updated. Here's what's happening. I got a groove cut through that. Let's see if I get through far enough to be able to get this thing spun off here. Okay, it's turning. Okay. That's got so it'll spin on there anyway. And there we go. Just had to get him freed up. Not bad at all. I'll take a little emery paper of that. Other than that though, I didn't dig into it. That's what you want. So this here's going to be a little warm. There we go. That can go in the scrap pile. And no, I got a little bit of junk right there, kind of wanting to smolder just a smidge. I have to keep an eye on that. But let's get that piece cut off anyway. We'll just take and set him there on the ground. It can cool off before it goes in the scrap pile. Okay guys, tell you what, I'm going to call this an end to part 3. And I see I do have some smoke wanting to kind of kick out of that hole right there a little bit. There's a bit of chaff in that. But like I said, I'm going to call this an end to part 3. So take care. We'll see you in part 4.